The energy of the soap opera of the stars for the month of September speaks about new beginnings. I'm an intuitive coach, and this is my energy report for the month of September. While researching the September astrology, which I do 3 to 4 weeks in advance, and I look at the human design transits, I felt compelled to draw the shapes that the aspects were making to each other. And as I kept doing this for each week, in the final week I discovered I had drawn a pyramid. Rather, the aspects made by the planets to each other were in the shape of a pyramid. Now, I usually do my research in terms of looking at the astrological transits and other data, the human design transits, and then I sit down to channel what the guides want to say about these weeks. So before that, let's talk about the pyramid itself. So the pyramid is a fascinating structure and has many tales and myths that surround this form. Now, whether it is marveling at the architecture or used as physical structure in places of spiritual significance or used to give a structure to theories such as Maslow's hierarchy, the pyramid is relevant even today. And when I was doing this research, or when I was doing this channeling this particular report for September, the guides showed me a pyramid spun of golden light, where the base was a brighter gold than the top. And there seemed to be within the pyramid a circular current of energy running from the base to the top, as if something was being lifted up and out from the base and out of the tip of this pyramid by this current. And then I saw a bright white light, like a spotlight, entering the tip of the pyramid, going right down to the base. So the visual appeared to be a system that is picking up and releasing what is not needed while allowing new energy to replace what is being removed. And it felt like this energy is going to be set up over September. I was then shown the same imagery of the intersection of timelines that I referred to in the report of the 4th week of July. In that report, we discussed an area that has been transformed since 2008, another area that has experienced subtle spiritual shifts since 2011, and a third area where there have been more sudden and shocking shifts since 2018. So wherever this is happening in your life is dependent on your specific chart. And the 4th week of July report includes the area that is relevant to you based on your rising sun and moon sign. But the energy of these colliding timelines seems to be forming the base of the pyramid, and the energy unfolding over the 4 weeks of September is forming the faces of the pyramid, leading to that apex in the last week of September. So I hope this explains the visual that I was shown. Now, the reason why September is important, the guides say, is because the energy this month starts an alchemical process that will last a whole year, at which point the energy will shift you into a completely different life. The work in these areas will have been done, the ones that we spoke about since 2008, 11, and 18. So the work in those areas will have been done, and this will help set up a foundation for the person you will become. So understanding this process is important for those on the path of self-awareness and presence, so that you can work with the energy in a deliberate, intentional way. Now, the transition is about moving from pain-based reactions to presence-based responses. This movement is a part of the movement from control-based structures to trust-based systems that we have been speaking about. Now, for week 1, the energy is coming together to form the base of the pyramid. As I said, those timelines intersecting each other. And it's almost as if this structure is dredging up all the muck and stuff that is still needing clearing from the very foundations of your psyche. So I'm being told it is the beginning of an alchemical process where you are allowing the last remnants of patterns, belief systems, traumas, and wounds that you have been stuck with to be extricated from the system. It's like using an exfoliant on your skin, but this is for the emotional gunk. So the guides want us to think about using that scrub in the shower. It can be a pleasant self-care ritual and does not have to be difficult. Yay. The key is to choose to let it go, to be intentional, is what I'm hearing once more. Do your best. So week 2, the energy for week 2 sets up 2 faces of the pyramid, and it is all about intuition. This is a week to be aware of what the voices in your head are saying. So watch out for synchronicities, dreams, and whatever is making itself known to you. Make space this week for some solitary time, because that's when the downloads, you will be able to hear it clearly. And also that is when you will be able to allow questions to arise from within you, and that will help in the downloading of even more answers. So if you want week 2 to be effortless, then a good idea is to take time out for solitude and silence. The guides are telling me that it's like washing away the exfoliant and allowing the bright, healthy skin below to be revealed. Now, week 3, this is the week where you slather on the good stuff on the clean skin and let it go deep within to nourish and heal. So this energy builds on the energy for last week and asks you to spend time introspecting about the intuitive hits you received in the previous week. We tend to want to have an answer the moment we have a question, but sometimes it is important to just let it sort of, fit together like pieces of the puzzle coming together before you get the full view. So also arising in this week, which you need to pay attention to, is a wound to the feminine, possibly by the wounded feminine within this patriarchal structure. So the wounded feminine is chaotic in a destructive way. So look at where that chaos within you is destroying a part of your life. Look at how this chaos has come from the fear of the unexpected and the uncertain. So the energy I'm feeling in my body is that of, I have to look at a part of me that feels anxious. What is it that I feel anxious about? Because that is what feels like that chaotic feminine energy. So in this week, week 3, 2 more faces of the pyramid are set up, as is that circular current that I described at the beginning that is moving the stuff you don't need out. Now, week 4, the apex of the pyramid is being activated this week with the light of the new energy cutting through to the base and infusing it with the energy required to shift into the new. It's kind of like that example of, a glass full of dirty water where you keep putting in the fresh water and eventually it's only fresh water because everything else has moved out of the glass. So in our skincare routine example, this is the time when sunscreen, other protective stuff go on the face, because that will help the skin soak in the nourishment that we put in the third week and be protected from any more pollutants. So that's the analogy that the guides are giving me. But what the guides want you to remember is that this is only the beginning of a year-long process of our energy moving into those higher frequencies and receiving that upgraded software that will move us into other life themes. But this is an important moment to begin the process. Now, people who've been working on this, sometimes myself, this brings up a little fear. Oh my God, we're starting another process. The thing is that healing is a constant process. We are conditioned, we've been conditioned for lifetimes, and that conditioning being released, the universe keeps bringing to us certain incidents, situations, people that helps us to release that the conditioning. I wish there was a way of doing it all at one go. If I find out, I will definitely let you know. But as of now, it seems that this is a process that we're going through. And it feels to me that, this year we've been talking about a lot of the deep work. So a lot of the excavation work, the laying the foundation, all of that has been done. This is more a process of saying, okay, what's left? Let's release that and once we've released that, let's then allow this upgraded software to, to be, let's allow ourselves to download it. So it's like, when you're shifting, I don't know whether anyone does this any longer, but earlier when we needed to upgrade our phones or computers, you had to take a backup. And in order to take that backup, because most of us would, clean out our computer, like clean the cookies, the history, the, just the junk that one has accumulated, the files that you no longer really need, and etc., so that you can take the backup, because, it would cost money. The amount of space you took cost money. And then we would, upgrade the computer. And this feels like a little bit like that, like, clear out the junk, like delete all those multiple, versions of the same photograph that you have in your gallery, and, just get rid of all of that stuff, because this is now time for this upgraded energy to come in and move you into a different theme altogether. So that's what it feels like to me. We're going to see how September plays out. So the guides, maybe I had this question, but the guides also said that this is a question that will be asked, that what happens to those who do not read these reports and are not aware? Do they still get this software upgrade? And the answer that the guides gave me is that they are still being exfoliated, cleansed, and they're still receiving the downloads. Some may even be aware and deliberate about it, obviously, which means they're in the right place at the right time and have reached here through a different path. There will be those who will not be aware as well. Now, depending on the configuration of their charts, this will be less of a self-care routine and more of a rehabilitation program they've been checked into, or not. There's a whole spectrum over here. What they're saying is that when it is just a self-care routine, it's more easy and it involves more choice. When they're speaking about it as a rehabilitation program, that may feel more controlling and more choiceless. The point is, the guides are saying that everybody is changing. Now, some of us, literally, and in different areas of our life, are perpetrators of the control-based systems, So unless we are deliberate about letting that go and shifting into a trust-based system, I guess it may feel a bit like a rehabilitation program. The point is, this change is going to happen all across. The grid is being powered up so that everyone will experience this change. So the more awareness and intention you can bring to this energy, the easier the shifts. Now, let us look at what this means for each sign. For this, you need to look at your astrological chart or connect with me and I'll let you know your top 3 signs. I use whole sign houses and Western astrology, so please take what resonates with you. Now, if you're looking at your rising sign, this is about you, your body, mind, and soul. The question to ask is, what is going on in my life? If you're looking at your sun sign, this is about your career and themes related to fathers and father figures. So here the question to ask is, what is influencing my career or my significant masculine relationships? If you're looking at your moon sign, this is your emotional space, your mother figures. The question to ask is, what is influencing my emotions or my significant feminine relationships? So ideally, look at all 3 signs to get a complete view of what is happening. But you can just look at your rising sign, which will provide you with the main themes. Now, additionally, this is the September report. So we are providing it for the whole month. So the month report is usually, it's going to unfold this way. That's what the guides say. When I do my own journaling, the guides say that, look, September is going to unfold this way. This is information we're giving to you. Now, every week, look at what you need to work on in order to support this movement in September. For Aries, rising, sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of conditioning in the areas of your career, your subconscious beliefs, and your self-worth to the more transformational energies in your networks, your personality, and your living environment. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in these areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. Now, this is applicable to all signs, but I will be repeating this for every sign. So for Taurus, rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of your need for expansion, how your work is perceived and your personality, to more transformational energies in your career, your belief systems and your self-worth. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned in 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. For Gemini, rising sun and moon, the focus in your life will move over the next 12 months from the deep excavation of debt, career, and belief systems to more transformational energies in growth, communities, and your personality. So while working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. For Cancer, rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of relationships, growth, and how your work is seen to more transformational energies in partnerships, career, and your belief systems. So while working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the area you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. So for Leo, rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of routines, partnerships, and career to more transformational energies in relationships, growth, and how your work is seen. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless this transition will feel. Virgo, rising sun and moon, also happy birthday. The focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of creativity, relationships, and growth to more transformational energies in routines, partnerships, and your career. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for you in 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. For Libra, rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of your sense of belonging, routines, health, and partnerships to more transformational energies in creativity, relationships, and growth. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless this transition will feel. For Scorpio, rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of your immediate environment, creativity, and relationships to more transformational energies in your sense of belonging, routines, health, and partnerships. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. For Sagittarius, rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of your self-worth, sense of belonging, routines, and health to more transformational energies in your immediate environment, creativity, and relationships. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. For Capricorn rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of your personality, immediate environment, and creativity to more transformational energies in your self-worth, sense of belonging, routines, and health. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. So Aquarius rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of your belief system, self-worth, and sense of belonging to more transformational energies in your personality, immediate environment, and creativity. While working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you have been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless this transition will feel. For Pisces rising sun and moon, the focus in your life over the next 12 months is moving from the deep excavation of how your work is seen, personality, and immediate environment to more transformational energies in your belief systems, your self-worth, and your sense of belonging. So while working on yourself is a constant process, the release of pain in the areas you've been working on since 2008 will lead to more presence in the themes mentioned for 2025. The next 12 months will move you in that direction, and the more awareness you bring to letting go of old patterns and structures, the more effortless the transition will feel. So that's the summary of all the signs. If there are any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. We are trying to get this regular study group going every Saturday at 4 p.m. India time, IST. So if you're interested in participating in that study group, please write to me on my email or connect with me through the comments here or on Instagram. All the links are in the description. Thank you. Have a good month. Do subscribe to this channel for regular updates. I drop a new episode every Friday for the week, and once a month there's a bonus episode for the whole month. I would love to hear from you. The next part of this report is about my process, so if you would like to hear it, but if you've heard it in previous videos, then this is just a repetition. So prior to being able to receive the downloads, my guides expect me to study the astrological and human design transits that are impacting the period of time the report is meant for. I usually study it for the whole month and then week on week. I call it the soap opera of the stars because when I started looking at the information and hearing the stories, it really feels like the planets and luminaries have their own little dramas with their plots and subplots. And we here on Earth are impacted because, all this energy in the universe, this force in the universe impacts us. So we need to work with that energy to ensure we are able to navigate life in the best manner possible. So to me, these are our warning signals, or the lighthouse that helps us navigate safely to the shore we want to be on, which is hopefully freedom and liberation. So to know more about what I do, you can find me on Instagram as @Pallavi108, which is PALLAVI 108. I'm also on LinkedIn as Pallavi Nath. I have a Spotify channel. It's the same content but in podcast form, and it's called the Soap Opera of the Stars. I have a Medium publication, so same content but in written format. It's also called the Soap Opera of the Stars. You can also stay updated on all the new episodes by following my WhatsApp channel. This is also called the Soap Opera of the Stars. I'm also planning to start posting on X and Twitter, X and Threads. So if that's something you're interested in, then watch this space for more. So just to let you know what I do, as an intuitive coach, I work with clients one-to-one to reset their energetic blueprints for maximum impact. So what this means is it could be an energetic reset to their timelines that includes events right from conception to now. It could be energy from past lifetimes. It could be also ancestral lineages. Now, why it is important to do this is because there are lots of these hidden little things, just like I see this fractured solar plexus that is hidden in our energy that we're not aware of, that we're not conscious of. But as an energy coach, as an intuitive coach, I can see it in the system and I can work with the client to help release it, because after all, aren't we all looking for relief and ease? I certainly am. This can happen for a client for themselves, an individual reset. It can happen for a relationship they're in, so that's a relationship reset. It can happen for the business they're running, and it can also happen in the space that they live or work in. So anywhere that you feel you need a little bit of an energy shift, like a facial for the energy, a deep tissue massage, connect with me. So apart from this, if you want non-face interaction, then I offer intuitive energy blueprint reports. These cover various aspects of your lived experience. They can be generated for you, they can be generated for loved ones. They're similar to the soap opera of the stars, but this is your natal chart. This is your human design setup. So it's very individual and unique to you. The report that I'm currently working on providing is one around purpose. I will provide reports on love and finance and career and so on and so forth. Right now I'm focusing on the first level, which is why are you here? Who are you on this planet? What is your quest? How does that combine to form your purpose? How do you then understand how this purpose and this current lifetime fits in with past and future lifetimes, and what are the important years so far in your life, what do you learn from them, what do you heal in them, and then what are the important markers over the next 10 years that you could prepare for and therefore navigate your life from that perspective. So this is something that I provide. You can check my link www.bit.ly/PN _reports. And I'm going to put that in the link in the description below. Another service that I provide is answers channeled from the guides. Now you can send this question to me on a form, and within 24 hours I will respond to you with a voice note. So these are specific to a situation, a decision, or a person where they need extra guidance, they need an input, they want to make a decision, or they just need to release anxiety. And this is important for them. So thank you for spending this time with me and my guides, and see you soon. Next Friday, next episode.